Sleep the same. Only the Sleep Number Smart Bed lets you each choose your individual firmness and comfort, your Sleep Number setting. The Climate 360 Smart Bed is so smart it actively cools or warms up to 13 degrees on either side for your ideal sleep temperature. JD Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store. The Queen Sleep Number C2 Smart Bed is now only $990 for a limited time. Prices higher in Alaska and Hawaii. For JD Power 2023 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
Tensions on the rise between the U.S. and Iran after several exchanges between American forces in the Middle East and Iranian-backed militants. It comes against the backdrop of the Israel-Hamas war.
Over the past 24 hours, Iranian leadership saying that the October 7th attack was a response to the 2020 killing of top General Qasem Soleimani. Hamas pushed back against that statement, saying that it had to do with the Al-Aqsa Mosque compound in Jerusalem. And it comes as the entire world is watching the Middle East, and there are new threats from Iran and its proxies and growing concern about the possibility of a broader regional war. We know just yesterday that 12 attack drones, 3 anti-ship ballistic missiles, and 2 cruise missiles were shot down by the American Eisenhower Carrier Strike Group. The attack was launched by Iran-backed Houthi rebels in Yemen and lasted for 10 hours.
Fox's Trey Yanks, the Iran-backed Houthi militants, claim they're supporting Hamas by going after vessels linked to Israel in the Red Sea. A pair of teenage brothers in Florida are facing gun charges. This following the killing of a sister during an argument over Christmas presents.
Deputies near Clearwater, Florida, say teenage brothers DeMarcus and Darcus Coley got into such a fight over how much their mother spent on Christmas gifts for them, they took out guns. 23-year-old sister Abrielle Baldwin begged them to stop.
Abrielle told DeMarcus, quote, "You all need to leave that stuff alone. Why are you trying to start it? It's Christmas."
Pinellas County, Florida Sheriff Bob Gultieri says DeMarcus then shot her, causing her to drop her 11-month-old baby. And that prompted Darcus to shoot DeMarcus. Abrielle died from her wounds. Both brothers are charged. In Broward County, Florida, Eben Brown, Fox News.
And Tom Smothers of the Smothers Brothers has died at the age of 86. He died at his home in California. I'm Kathleen Maloney. This is Fox News.
Hello, everyone. My name is Brandon Taylor. I'm the chairman of the Lawrence County Republican Party, and I've got Lawrence Sutton, the secretary of the Lawrence County Republican Party, and we want to thank you for joining us for another hour of the Lawrence County Republican Party show. We're going to be talking politics, and we're going to be talking whatever, global events. We say Merry Christmas here, so Merry Christmas, everyone, and Happy New Year. Lawrence, Merry Christmas to you and your family.
Merry Christmas, buddy. How you been?
I am doing well. I'm glad to be back on the air with you again tonight, and always look forward to getting into some topics and some debates. All kinds of stuff. You never know what's going to happen on this show. And what do you got up your sleeve today?
I mean, not much. I mean, you just look at the news and you just sit there and you shake your head. And truthfully, I'll go and I'll look at the news and I'll go look at the Bible, and the Bible's more accurate than what the news is.
This is true. This is true. One thing, this show, for those people that may not know, maybe it's your first time tuning in, I want to say welcome. You can listen to the show on Facebook at WDXE. You can also listen to it on YouTube under WDXE as well. And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and like it, because you're about to like what I'm going to show you. I actually got a video, or actually not a video, an audio clip of Lawrence. Lawrence, last week we were on the show and we were talking about politics, and you actually admitted to some things in here. And so why are you laughing like that?
Oh, because I know where you're going at it. But just remember that there's something called I can't make you do anything, but I sure as hell can make you wish you hadn't.
Well, I don't know if folks know it or not, but I'm telling you, this show actually reforms people. It does. and you are one of those people, Lawrence, and we have reformed you here. Folks that know you, they know that I've got a nickname for you, Orlando, because you claim to be from Florida. Although I've seen no pictures of you in Florida. I've never seen you.
You want to see a birth certificate? Would that help you?
I'm a birther. I
got the birth certificate.
I want to see a picture of you.
I got old driver's license even.
I want to see a picture of you with Mickey Mouse. I know it's got to be floating around out there.
None of that, because I never really cared that much for Disney World.
Okay. So, for those of you that are just tuning in, every week we get on this show and Lawrence and I, we make fun of each other, but I have proof, and I can't get rid of this proof. And this audio is actually sent to me by one of our loyal listeners.
Yeah,
and
I know where it's coming from. I'll go ahead and say it. I'll take it away from you.
No.
It's because I said at one point in time I had actually voted Democrat once or twice.
Well, you're adding to it. I hope we're getting more videos, more footage.
Well,
but I just will play this for everyone because this is really how we reform people here. I mean, so if
Really
you're sitting
how we
around,
reform, okay.
if you are sitting around the living room and you're celebrating Christmas with your family, and maybe someone there is a Democrat, and you think there's no hope for them, I just want you to listen to this audio. This is Lawrence Sutton, folks.
I have had to vote Democrat.
What did you say, Lawrence? I'm trying to.
I did. I
make
just
sure.
got through saying it.
Okay, hold on a minute. Let's get this.
Do you really want me to tell you why?
No, I don't want to know why.
Oh no. If you're gonna play that, then you're gonna know why.
I don't care why.
No. Oh no.
Vote Democrat.
He says, listen, folks.
I have had to vote Democrat.
It almost sounds like a Clinton talking. I am telling you.
It was Clinton I voted for in the second term. I'm going to tell you why I voted for Clinton the second term now.
He said he had to vote Democrat.
I can't stand a hypocrite. Mm-hmm. And Bob Dole went after Bill Clinton and his affairs when Bob Dole left his own wife for Elizabeth.
Yeah. Okay.
So I can't stand a hypocrite. I was young. I was in my early 20s then. I was 24, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I was 24 then. I mean, matter of fact, I didn't vote for Clinton in 92. I voted for Ross Perot.
Okay. I remember Ross Perot. He said just because you can go down here and run a corner market doesn't mean you can go run Walmart. I remember Ross Perot said that.
Oh, yeah.
That's a funny statement for Ross Perot.
But I mean, that's the reason why. I mean, I can't stand a hypocrite on those things.
Sure.
And if Bob Dole hadn't have made it the mantra of his going after Clinton politically,
right.
I mean, there was other things he could have done.
Right.
I mean, he could have went after him for that terrible gun control bill for '94 even.
Sure.
You know, I mean, there was plenty of things out there to go after him. But to go after the man when, to me, a family should be off limits.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you cleared that up because there were people that might have been concerned that you voted for Barack Obama.
No.
Oh, you didn't vote for Barack Hussein Obama? Okay.
No.
All right. So.
No. I tell you what, I voted for McCain in 2008. And in 2012, I had my choice between, and I'm sorry I'm going to say this, but you brought this up.
No, I didn't. You did.
No. I had my choice between a Muslim or a Mormon.
Okay.
So I couldn't vote for Mitt Romney.
I hear you.
And
Mitt Romney was not an exciting candidate at all.
And you know what? It had nothing to do. I'm saying that kind of tongue in cheek. It had nothing to do with him being a Mormon. It had everything to do with the fact because of if you looked at how Mitt Romney made his money, he made his money. To me, it's not illegal, but kind of some of the ways some of these other guys and some of these other politicians have made their money, it just smells bad. It doesn't go to the smell test.
I understand.
And I can't really talk about exactly what it was, but there's Google for a reason. You can go Google it and see. But I say that to say this. I'm going to tell you something, and I'm not saying I'm going to yet, but I'm not opposed right now to vote for Vivek Ramaswamy.
Okay. All right.
I mean, and he's a Hindu.
All right. So. And we'll keep people posted on how you turn on that one, right?
Well,
so
I mean, like I said, I know Trump's probably going to win, and Trump did a lot of good things for our country.
Sure,
no doubt about it.
He did. I agree.
He did a lot of good things.
One of the best things
country.
he did, I got to give him credit for it every time, is he absolutely changed the Supreme Court of this land.
Well, I'll tell you the other thing he did. He kept us out of war.
He did. I agree.
We had a booming economy.
Yes, we did.
He dealt with China.
Low gas prices.
Yep, we had low gas prices. Low gas prices and good economy kind of go hand in hand. I'm just going to tell you.
Isn't it weird how that works?
No, it's not. Because we rely on transportation. We are a transportation economy.
That's exactly right.
Okay, you tripled the amount of what we were paying for gas, and it did happen for a little bit where we're paying triple the amount than what we had under Trump. Mm-hmm. You're going to pay the price for that,
right?
And we still can't get over it. And I'm going to tell you something. Truthfully, gas should be under $2 a gallon.
Absolutely.
As plentiful as oil is, as easy as it is to get. We saw gas prices in 2020, I saw it as low as $1.36. And regularly, I saw it for $1.50 to $1.60, regularly, for a while. And if we can do that, and the economy was going better than it had ever been during those times, what does that tell you? It tells you that they take these, they use gas and oil in order to control the population. And that's exactly what they have done, is they've controlled the population, and they've weaponized oil and gas.
Oh, they definitely weaponized it. No doubt about it. And you mentioned Trump, and so I gotta touch on something, because Jack Smith, who is the special counsel for the United States Department of Justice, appointed by Merrick Garland.
Talking about Department of Justice for us, not for you.
Exactly. Merrick Garland, and just for those that may have forgotten, he was the one who Barack Obama had selected to be, he wanted to select him to be our next Supreme Court justice.
Wasn't he supposed to take over for Scalia, who had died?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So what happened was he didn't get it. So then they appointed him to Attorney General.
Sorry, Attorney General. That's okay.
Yep. They appointed Attorney General. And now a year ago, just over a year ago, he appointed Jack Smith for the special counsel of the United States Department of Justice. Okay. Now, Jack Smith is now currently pushing to, he's actually had to indict, they've indicted Donald Trump. They're bringing it to court. It's going to happen, looks like it's going to happen in March of 2024, the upcoming year. But he's pushing now to where he's going to try to put limits on what Trump can say in the courtroom.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that.
Which absolutely...
Doesn't that fly in the face of your First Amendment?
Every one of our amendments are under attack right now. And,
Absolutely.
I don't believe there's any of them that are not really subject to being changed or even removed at this point. Especially in a court, where in this country you're innocent till proven guilty. And the reason we have a court system in this country is so you will have your say, and you get to speak your piece. You get to say it. We see it all the time in court systems, where you may have someone who is, maybe the people think, well, this person's not sane. Maybe they're insane, but they still get a chance to have to say their piece in court. And then they're going to limit Donald Trump, his ability to say that. I would say that was wrong if it were Joe Biden. I would say it was wrong for Hunter Biden.
Absolutely.
I would say it was wrong. I cannot believe people are not just absolutely in shock over this. And Jack Smith, for those people who don't know, really you ought to go look him up. His wife, or his partner, as they say, I don't know if they're married.
Well, it says under his Wikipedia, partner, because they're woke.
Her name is Katie Shavigny, okay? And their
I bet
partner,
you can't say that again.
Shavigny. I tell you what,
say it 3 times.
I can't say that you voted Democrat. I love it. So anyway, we're changing hearts and minds here on the Lawrence County Republican Show. Oh, he's beating his head against the microphone. It may turn into WWE wrestling in here before it's over with. Oh, okay. So anyway, she has done these documentaries, and she has about 30 movies that she has actually been a part of producing, directing. And they're not necessarily movies, they're more documentaries, and they're really with a left slant. One of the most popular ones she's done, you've probably seen it, Lawrence, it's called Becoming, and it's a story about Michelle Obama and how she became
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Oh, you've never seen that one? Okay, I didn't know.
Becoming, what did she do, become a man? Become Michael?
I'm going to leave it right there. So
that's what she became.
I think people should take a look at who these people are. When you see this guy in court, Jack Smith, you don't have to do 5 minutes worth of research on this guy to see that he has been put there, he has been placed there. Their ties with the Obamas, and you hear people say it, and people say, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist. Obama didn't leave Washington, D.C. If this guy is not proof with the ties that he has to Barack Obama, pulling the strings of what's still going on in Washington, D.C., it's pretty radical that they will go this far. No one calls them out on it. I can't believe it. I watch this stuff on the news, and sometimes, Lawrence, I get so disgusted with the news, I have to take a break for a couple of days.
Yeah.
I just turn it off, and I'm like, I'm not even going to look for a couple of days. Matter of fact, I did that through Christmas. I tried to turn it off quite a bit and just look the other way.
I'm amazed you can watch it. I can't watch it. I just can't.
Well, just for the sake of trying to stay current, on current events. You know,
Yeah.
I think people kind of look at me and they know who I am and things we do locally and around the state, different things that we do. And they'll approach me with a political topic, and so just for the sake of staying current, a lot of times I get approached and I'm like, I haven't even looked that up. I got to go look it up because it's so left slanted that I just can't stand to even look at it. That the things that are going on with the media, with what we're seeing in big companies and large organizations that are happening right now, things that we've seen going on with the school systems, it has been pretty radical. You know, I'll even say one more, and you and I have talked about this a couple of times, but this after-school Satan club that's going on in this country. I'm appalled that parents aren't standing up. I think I've had some parents talk to me, and they've approached me saying, hey, what are we going to do about this? Well, we need to vote, and we need to get conservatives elected in offices. So I've been saying this for months. We have elections coming up every 2 years. We're watching this, and so I don't care what county you live in. Part of your school board will be elected every 2 years. There's not ever going to be an entire turnover every 2 years, but staying involved, staying active, one of the ways you can do that is through a Republican Party, which is why you and I are here, Lawrence. We're trying to stay active. We're trying to do the best we can with the tools in our tool belt.
You know, you mentioned, I got to go with on this little rabbit hole, and I always love this Bible verse, Ecclesiastes 10:2, and I'm reading from the King James Version.
Okay.
It says, a wise man's heart is at his right, but a fool's heart is at his left.
Okay. Well, and you know what? To you and I, that may mean something, but there are people that don't believe the Bible at all, and it doesn't mean anything to them. To me, I don't think anything's coincidence. Even in the Bible or not in the Bible, in this world, I just don't believe in coincidence or luck. And that verse does speak to me as well when I see it.
I mean, the amount of stupidity that I see, I just can't phantom it, and I hate saying it that way, but it's true, and that's my job. My job is to be a watchman on the wall,
Sure.
and is to speak truth. Whether you like it or not, is to speak the truth. And, you bring up the Satan Club and everything. We actually had a school board fight back off of it in Pennsylvania. And they fought it for a little bit. They started fighting in March of this year, actually. And they wound up not even taking it to court, but they settled for $200,000 afterwards without even taking it to court or anything. I'm going to tell you something, and this is the bad thing, and the Satan Club is a 501c3. They're a nonprofit organization,
Right.
But yet they claim not to be religious. But then if you're not religious, then why do you use Satan? Why don't you use a Hindu god or a Muslim god or something else? Why are you using Satan? Like you said, there's a reason for everything. But what they're doing and what they're saying is that they're going into these school districts that have Christian groups that are in these schools. And then they're challenging these schools to open up their Satan Club.
That's right.
So I'm going to tell you what I see. And I hope people have the ability and I'm going to say it, in the balls to do it. But when they start bringing these Satan clubs to your school, and it's coming, believe me, it's coming.
Oh, it's coming.
Then take your child out and either homeschool them or put them in a Christian school. If you want to stop this mess, okay, you hit them in the pocketbook. And see, and that's what the Satan Club is doing with these school boards. And these school boards are scared to death of stuff like this. One of the things that you can do, and I talked with a school board member, not in this county, but another county.
Okay.
And what they're thinking about doing is they're thinking about shutting down everything. And
well, I know what I'm about to say is going to be just really a hot topic. I'm about to hit a hot button.
That's okay. Let's hit it.
But don't we need to get back to reading, writing, and arithmetic in the school systems? You know
what? I agree with that 100%. But you know what? I also don't mind some of these after-school care programs. I mean, when I was in school, I was a member of FCA.
Sure.
You know, if you want to see me matter of fact, if you want to see me in Florida in a yearbook,
Fellowship of Christian Athletes.
Fellowship of Christian Athletes. I'm right there. I can bring you the yearbook and show it to you if I
Okay.
can find the yearbook.
Oh, well, I bet it's not in color. Go ahead. It's a painting.
It's a painting. Well, I'm
I bet you drop your pen on that
Oh
one.
no! I'm going to tell you what else, Brandon Taylor is I was at the beginning of, and you're in the middle of the mullet craze.
Okay.
And so there's probably a picture. I probably got a mullet kicking then.
Oh yeah, I rocked a few mullets. I
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
That Kentucky waterfall going down the back of my head. So
Joe Dirt, baby.
hey, I tell you, mine looked so good that Billy Ray Cyrus saw it and got him one. So
Is
I don't
that
know.
what happened?
That's what I told people. I don't know if that's true or not, but you know.
I don't either. But getting back to the Satan Club, and you're right. But the problem is not these after-school programs as far as the reading, writing, and arithmetic. The problem is the agenda that's coming from Washington, D.C., and is coming from the Department of Education down to the states, and the states are distributing to these schools since they're getting this federal money that's coming back to us anyway. And let's face it, the money really isn't coming back to us. They're just printing more of it, is all they're doing.
That's true.
It's a Ponzi scheme. I'm going to tell you what our federal government does with our cash and our money is no different than Bernie Madoff or some of these other people, except they're the government and they can get away with it because it's rules for me, not for thee.
It's like a pyramid scheme.
It's absolutely a pyramid scheme.
Well, so they're starting these clubs, and I'm hearing a lot of people in our community that are not happy with it. And I want to say this on the radio. I want to say this right here. I'm not ashamed to say it. If this is something that concerns you, then you have to do something.
Yeah.
And I want to speak to Christians out there and say, you know what? Prayers are great, and I believe you do pray, but I think you got to put legs on your prayers.
That's
and
right.
you have to mobilize your prayers. And we are still, this nation, this state, especially Tennessee, is a Christian majority state. And I don't think that we should go around and try to be offensive. As a matter of fact, I'm a follower of Jesus Christ. He said your words should be love, and you should love people, and you should. But we do not, and our mistake is tolerating things that go against the beliefs of the foundation of this nation.
But Jesus also said before they hated you, they hated me.
Absolutely true.
Because the truth is not going to be taken well, especially in the end times. And me and you both truly believe we're in the end times.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You may have to stand alone, but as long as you and I have breath, we'll stand there with you.
Well, some people will say, well, they've been saying we're living in the end times, and what does that mean? That just means that a lot of prophetic things the Bible talked about through the book of Revelation and through the book of Zechariah, and even some of Isaiah and Ezekiel are going to come to pass, and these things are going to happen. Jesus was speaking a lot of prophetic things. If you're a follower of Christ and read Matthew chapter 24, it's not hard to take a look around and see what's going on in our country today, what is taking place in this nation today. And it's also not hard to see that the believer, and I mean the Christian believer, is actually coming under attack. I see this, and this is my opinion, I'm entitled to it, I see the Satan after-school Satan clubs as 100% of an attack against Christianity in this country. That's what I see it, and I have to be convinced otherwise.
You're not going to convince me otherwise, and I'm just going to tell you, it boils down to, and you probably know this verse where it's at better than I do, but you have this saying, and I love using it. It's called the Millstone Society.
Oh, yes.
And do you remember where that verse is from?
No, but I'll have to look it up. Jesus said it would be better if to hurt one of these little ones, it would be better if you had a millstone tied around your neck and cast yourself into the sea.
Into the sea. And you know what? That's exactly what these people are doing, because they are bringing in a Satan club in order to bring children away from Jesus.
And so
that's exactly
why I come
what
up with that
Jesus
statement.
Well,
the Millstone Society.
The Millstone Society are the ones that traffic and sexualize children, or the ones that abort children.
That's right.
I mean, you are part of the Millstone Society, whether you like it or not. And I see that, and I'm going to tell you something. I see it as a slippery slope that's very, very dangerous.
Well, my hope is for the Republican Party, and let me start local and work my way out.
Yeah.
Let me start local in Lawrence County. I wish Lawrence County Republican Party would be a place to where the churches could come to meet. It's where all pastors could come together and say, you know what, we're going to stand together against things that want to come into our area that are wrong. I don't want an abortion clinic in Lawrence County. I don't want an abortion clinic in the state of Tennessee. We got to come together against these things, and we have to make a stand. And so that's been my hope. And I'm actually seeing a lot of people from different churches being a part of this. And they say, well, is this a Christian organization? No, it's just Christians are a part of it. And that's how it falls under our membership. To me, if you want to look at the Republican Party National Committee, if you look at the RNC platform, it's going to be very Christ-like. It's very Christian. It even lays out the definition of marriage. It lays out a lot of these things, these definitions and things that these politicians are not following, and we'll say, well, they're a rhino or Republican in name only, but they're just not following that platform. This is this issue of, guess what? I'm afraid that it's not only the candidates and the elected officials not following the platform, it's also the Christians that live on our streets, that live in our community.
It's the church.
It's the pastors in our community. And I'm not mad at pastors. I'm saying, you know what? We've got to get motivated to where we have to see, okay, if we don't do something, we're going to stand here and watch our country erode away under our feet. And for me, some people believe, and some Christians believe, well, there's nothing you can do. It's just the way it's going to be. I don't agree with that. I just don't agree with that.
No, I don't
believe
either.
we can actually make our community better. Can I change California? It's going to be much more difficult for me right here in Lawrence County, Tennessee, to change things that are going on in San Diego, California. I get that. But can I have an impact on Nashville, Tennessee? Absolutely. I've already done it. Can I have an impact on what's going on in Middle Tennessee? Absolutely. We've already done it. Can we have an impact on what's going on in Lawrence County, Tennessee? We are 100% doing that.
Right.
And we have to maintain our involvement. And so if people aren't involved, I'll say 2024 is going to be a new year. Our first meeting is going to be at January 23rd, 6 p.m. at the Lawrence County Courthouse. I want you to come out. If you just think you might be interested, if you just want to hear what we're talking about, the door's open. We want you to be there. We love people. We're not trying to get on the radio and bash people of different beliefs and different faiths, but we're not afraid to get on the radio and say what we believe and what we feel like is the best ideology for this state and this country.
And if I'm not, correct me if I'm mistaken, but starting February will be the start of the new year for us, where we will have to take up our dues again.
Yes.
Which is $5.
$5. Come out and join us.
$5.
If you come up to me and say you can't afford the $5, I won't make a spectacle of it. I'll pay it for you. I want you there.
We want you involved.
But I don't want you to be a member and then not ever show up. I get
Right.
it if you can't make every meeting.
Yeah.
But come to the majority of the meetings if you can. Get out there, be involved, set your schedule, adjust your schedule. It's the fourth Tuesday of each month here in the county. We actually have great speakers. We have great guests. We have very informative meetings. The last meeting we had was a town hall where we were talking about the sanitation and things going on with this county, which is still an issue that's ongoing in this county.
It is.
So it's relative to you, to your neighborhood, to your money. And I think it's a really good party that we have here, and we've had a lot of people give us some feedback on it. And I'm very happy to say I've received a lot of positive feedback from what we're doing here at the Lawrence County Republican Party. And I don't pat myself on the back. We got a great county executive team that are dedicated and they are heartfelt. We're not perfect people.
No.
And no one out there is perfect. But you know what? We're trying to be actually motivated for the right reasons, which is for the well-being of our lives and our children.
Well, and that's the key thing right there is we're not doing it for us, we're doing it for the next generation.
That's right.
We want to hand off something to the next generation, because Ronald Reagan said it best that you're only one generation removed from losing your freedoms. Mm-hmm. And I got news for you. We're staring at that right now.
No doubt about it.
If you can't see that our freedoms are being eroded, then you're just not paying attention. And what I see that they have tried to do to Donald Trump is absolutely terrible. And it was kind of funny, and I thought, and I mean, listen, if you listen to this radio show enough, you know I'm not a Trumper. Okay.
No. As a matter of fact, we know that you have voted Democrat.
Oh my God. Yeah, that was against Bob Dole.
He wasn't a never Trumper though, folks. I'll clear that up for you.
Well, no, I mean I voted for Trump. And unlike Bill Lee, who I voted for, I want my vote back from Bill Lee. I don't want my vote back for Donald Trump. Donald Trump did a decent job, but I think he really messed up shutting down our country with COVID. I think he really messed up with the vaccines. And he is still pushing the vaccines. And I follow the science, and the science is telling me the vaccines didn't work from what the science is saying. And he's still going down that road. So I have that against him. I also have against him with the guns. I mean, listen, one of the first things that happened after he got elected, we had a mass shooting in Las Vegas. And one of the first things he did was sign an executive order taking away a gun right.
That's right.
And I'm just going to tell you this. I mean, don't shoot the messenger here, but one of the gun rights he took away was a gun right that we gained under the Obama administration.
That's right.
I'm just going to tell the truth.
That's right.
Okay.
You're referring to bump stock.
I'm referring to bump stocks.
Right.
We also got the short barrel or the pistol braces. We also got the short barrel shotguns. I mean, there were numerous things that happened. There were no rights taken underneath the Obama administration. There were only rights given during that period of time. But that's the first thing Trump did, was he blamed the instrument, not the evil. And the fact is, he's a New Yorker. I'm sorry if you're from New York, but I mean, I read the man's books. And if you go back and read the man's books before he ran for president, he was for abortion. He thought that abortion should be a woman's choice.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
Are you saying he voted Democrat too?
Oh, yeah. He gave money to Democrats.
He absolutely did.
I never gave money to Democrats. Okay. I've not done that. But, he was for gun control. And he, even to this day, he is for the implementation of homosexual marriage. And the homosexual marriage, here's the slippery slope that it went down, and a lot of people don't understand this, is that, yes, it had a homosexual marriage. One, I don't think the government has any business in marriage, and they just proved it by allowing a homosexual marriage.
I agree with you.
Okay. A marriage should be between a man and a woman and between God.
That's right. I agree.
Okay? Even their God, if they want it to be. Okay? But when you opened up that can of worms, now we have past 3 years ago now, I think, 2 to 3 years ago, California has made it a law where as long as there's not a 10-year age difference, there's pedophilia going on. Mm-hmm. So a 19-year-old can have sex with a 10-year-old.
Sure.
Legally.
Sure.
Okay, now we're getting into polyamorous marriages. These people are coming out and they're saying, well, if the homosexual can have the marriage, then we should be able to marry multiple people.
Or our dog.
Or the animals, the bestiality.
That's right.
That's where that plus comes from, LGBTQ plus whatever.
It actually has a Z on there, which stands for zoo.
Yeah.
I'm not making that up.
Yeah.
It's really on there.
So you have opened up this can of worms. You have opened up, as in the days of Noah, and you have also opened up Sodom and Gomorrah. And if you want to read something prophetic, go read Romans chapter 1, starting in the 16th verse through the 32nd verse.
That's right. Well, let me get back to Donald Trump, though.
Yeah, let's get back to Donald.
So Donald Trump, we're going into an election cycle where what we're faced with, and I've said this so many times, is we just don't have very many options. Mm-hmm. So we go into the election booth, and we're going in there to pull the lever, so to speak. And we've got
I wish
Joe
we would
Biden.
pull the lever again.
Oh, I miss those days where the curtain closed behind you when you walked in.
That's right.
But we go into this election booth. We go up to the voting machine, and we have Joe Biden listed, and we have Donald Trump listed again. And I'm not even going to get into, election fraud and things like that. I just want to say, look at your choices. This is the only choices you have. In America, I think one of the problems that we have right now, and I'm talking about small town politics, state politics, national politics, it's on every level, is we cannot get people to run for office that would be a great elected official. They just won't do it. I'm going to tell you, folks, we just came through the school board cycle trying to get people to run. I've almost begged people to run for school board, and they won't do it. And if you're convicted over this one, I'm sorry, you'll get another chance. The school board, it's up every 2 years, and maybe you need to be thinking about it. And I know, Lawrence, we've talked about being in this for the long haul, okay?
Right.
We're not finite in this. We're going to be infinite in our fight with this. I'm not just going to back out in a year or two. But people have got to realize the reason we don't have good laws, the reason why we don't have good legislation, the reason we have things that are coming against our freedoms is because the right people literally won't step up and run for the positions. And then on top of that, all of us here as citizens, we don't get behind those people. We don't make it possible for them to get elected. I will never sit here and tell you that I believe Joe Biden and Donald Trump are the two best picks that the Republican Party and Democrat Party has out there to put up for the number one political position in this country. I will never say that on record. I will never believe that. But I will tell you this, where are those who need to be running that aren't?
I would like to know what Democrat could run for president in your world.
Okay, well, I said the best.
I mean, yeah, but the best means that they can do the job. I don't see any Democrat that can do the job.
Well, I don't agree with the Democrat platform.
Right.
I mean, that's just me. But, okay, Joe Biden can't complete a sentence. Do they not have someone that can complete a sentence that they could run?
Even the vice president can't complete a sentence.
Kamala Harris.
She can't complete a sentence either.
Look, I'm not the best at speaking publicly, but I think I can beat her. I'm just saying. That's my opinion.
Can you laugh like her?
No. And I won't do it. I almost did it. Just
I know you did.
Tricked me into doing it.
I know.
I almost mimicked her, but then I know what would happen. You and my buddy that sent me this video would be cropping my laugh online. And it would be used against me. And you'll do me like Donald Trump. You won't let me defend myself.
Oh, speaking of which, how do you like that? I mean, I know we touched on it earlier, but I mean, think about that. I mean, I just can't get over the fact that you're going to muzzle what a man can say to defend himself in the court of law.
And they said they don't want him talking about politics. Well, yet he's held the number one political position in the country. He's been
Isn't this the whole thing about politics?
The whole thing is about politics, and they don't want him talking about politics. They're scared, Lawrence, that he's going to get in there and he's going to use this as a platform to get his freedom of speech out there. They've tried to limit his free speech for years, whether you like him or not. Whether you like him or not, they have tried to cut back his ability to speak freely, pulling him off of different sites like Twitter, shutting him down, everywhere they could shut him down. Basically, the old pulling the cord out of the mic thing where you're talking and someone slips around and pulls the cord out of the mic. That's what they try to do to Donald Trump on the national platform.
And you know what? Even the Democrats are saying this, that if they can say that the election was stolen, it was stolen by the big media for silencing the Hunter Biden story.
Absolutely.
And I mean, that right there, they're saying, well, yeah, if that story would have gotten out, then Joe Biden probably would not have won. And I mean, even the Democrats are saying that.
Oh, they know it. They know it. I'm going to tell you, though, there's a lot of Democrats who will vote for Joe Biden no matter what.
Right.
They could come in and say, Hunter, I'm just telling you, they will. I mean, I know that. I have to say I've seen Republicans on the Republican side, and they're not quite as in line with Donald Trump, going to vote for him no matter what. We have expectations of Donald Trump.
Absolutely.
And
that's the reason I'm looking at Vivek.
So, I mean, I'll tell you right now, do I agree with everything in Donald Trump's personal life? No. Do I agree with everything he did when he was president? No. But I got two options. I got Joe Biden, and I have Donald Trump. Mm-hmm. And then I hear you. I hear people out there in radio land, maybe they're watching this on Facebook, and they're like, well, you got other candidates you could vote for. You have to vote for an electable candidate.
Right.
Or else you have taken your vote and given it to the wrong guy. They love it to throw elections like this. Even in small town politics, I mean, let's just be honest.
I mean, that's how
we look for these three different candidates going into who's going to split the vote.
Right.
And that's in small town politics. That's for your little local elections right down the street where you're putting the street sign out and you're going to church with a guy, or you're going to church with a lady, or you work with her. This is what we see small town. They do the same thing when they want you to throw your vote. And so I hear you. I heard you talking about different ones that you thought you might vote for. They want these people running.
Yeah.
They want to throw the vote because they know they have to have it to get Joe Biden elected again. And that's my opinion on it. And I'm not mad at people because they say, well, you got to vote your conscience. I'm going to tell you what my conscience tells me. I got to vote what's going to be best for this country in the next 10 years. I'm not just going to be a voter who's looking out over the next 3 months or the next 6 months. I'm going to be very strategic about how we vote. And I will tell you, if Donald Trump gets elected, will I agree with everything he's going to do? Probably not. Okay? I'm just being honest. Will I agree with anything Joe Biden's going to do? I don't think I can agree with anything he's going to do. No. Not one. He won't even own the economy, the situation that the economy. He's telling us our economy is doing
better
great.
than it's ever been.
Better than it's ever been. And no one's calling him out on it. There's a little bit of the media starting to kind of crack up. There's some cracks in the concrete. But still, no one's calling Joe Biden out on none of this. No one's calling Joe Biden out for his son, what's going on in his world, and how Joe Biden was tied to this.
See, I here's the thing. I would personally, if it was just Hunter Biden doing what he's doing, again, that's when I don't think that family should be messed with, with the political candidates. But the thing is we have it on his computer, 10% for the big guy coming from Hunter. And they have all but proven who the big guy is, and that is Joe Biden.
Sure.
And so that's when it makes a difference.
Joe Biden has had ties to Ukraine for years.
Oh, absolutely.
This is not secret, folks. I mean, just go look it up. Don't even argue with me right now.
Yeah,
please.
just go look it up.
Just go Google it on your favorite search engine and check it out. I mean, he has had really close ties to Ukraine. We're having all these issues right now in America. I couldn't believe it when Joe Biden said that he really didn't want to tell the American public that China was flying balloons over the United States. I mean, this blew my mind when I saw that news report. He didn't want to, we are so silly that we can't start figuring some things out on our own. I mean, I want to say who found that first wasn't it the meteorologist that saw the weather balloons flying over first?
Absolutely. I want to know why they didn't shoot it down.
Oh, I'd love to know that one. I would love to know that one.
How did it? I mean, it came into
probably
Montana.
Afraid it would fall into the right hands instead of the wrong hands. Let me just say that. That seems to be the way it's played out now. All right. Conspiracy theory aside, I don't know why they didn't shoot it down. They said it because it was too big, but that's what they said.
Yeah, it was coming in the country of Montana. I'm sorry, but there's nothing in Montana. Okay. I mean,
well, maybe they were afraid they would have hit a moose in the head or something. I don't know. I don't know.
Again, you cannot fix stupid no matter how big the hammer is.
So I want to talk about something else.
Okay. Please, because I'm getting heartburn.
I want to talk about a report that I had seen on international news. Actually, it was part of Israeli news. The Pentagon has said that they've had 56 attacks on U.S. troops in Iraq and Syria since mid-October.
Absolutely.
I'm going to say this again. The Pentagon. So I'm not saying CNN or Fox News. I'm saying the Pentagon report is.
Or even Alex Jones.
56 attacks. And that's the ones I guess that they're willing to tell us about.
Right.
Okay. I'm just saying the ones they will admit to. 56 attacks on U.S. troops. This is on our troops.
Since when?
Since mid-October. And
month before that, didn't the United States on September the 11th give Iran over $1 billion?
Well, that was so they could buy other things, like electricity and stuff. Well, you don't believe that? Okay.
No, I don't believe that.
Okay.
I don't believe that.
59 U.S. personnel have been injured since mid-October.
Yeah.
This is not making headline news in the United States. I mean, we're talking about
because it's being covered up so people don't get pissed off.
These are just facts. I'm not throwing something at the American public here that's not very easy to search it out. 59 U.S. personnel injured.
Our country wants war.
So you feel like right now Joe Biden wants to get into a conflict?
Absolutely, they do.
So they've been hit by the Islamic resistance in Iraq. Okay, this is a pro-Iranian militia, Islamic resistance in Iraq. 56 attacks on U.S. troops. Now, a lot of people listening right now, you're patriots, you're veterans. Maybe you could be currently serving. Maybe you're like me, a parent of a son or a daughter that's serving in the military, like me. And when I see this, I'm thinking, why are we not addressing this issue right now? We need to be addressing this issue right now. That's me. That's my thoughts on it.
Yeah.
But instead, there's no talk about it. It's more, we're talking more about not letting Donald Trump speak in the courtroom.
So earlier this year, we had a bill passed for our budget, and basically it gave Joe Biden administration until 2025 an unlimited amount of money to spend. Okay. The only other times
That's comforting.
The only other times in history that has happened,
Okay.
is when we went to war.
Wow.
I'm just going to tell you again. You can Google this stuff up. You can look it up for yourself. I've already looked it up for you, but I'd say don't ever take my word for it.
Yeah, don't take our word for it. My word or Lawrence's word or anyone else.
Yeah.
Go inform.
Go research. Go inform yourself.
Nowadays, with the technology we have, you can do a quick research, and it just doesn't take.
But see,
much.
and I'm not going to put words in the man's mouth. But when we had Desjardins on the other day, Scott Desjardins, to me, he pretty much said that we're about ready to go to war.
I feel that as well. I do feel that. So I'm in agreement with you. I know that in international waters right now, a lot of those tankers are being struck by missiles. I saw one where one of our Navy ships actually shot down a missile the other day.
That's correct.
So it's just a matter of time before a small, even a shoulder fire rocket hits a tanker. I mean, you might think, well, that's not a big deal. They're wanting to hit a tanker. They want to blow something up. They want to do major damage. They want to disrupt the oil industry.
You hit an oil tanker. You hit one oil tanker,
right.
And you're going to see our gas go up 50 cents a gallon overnight.
Immediately. Maybe more than 50 cents a gallon.
I'd rather be on the low end than the high end.
Well, and so let me say something on this, and I do know this for a fact from discussions with different people who are Democrats in the past. They want high gas prices.
Yes, they do.
Because that pushes the agenda for the electric car, pushing toward getting away from coal.
So can I discuss about the electric cars? I actually got a Tesla a couple of weeks ago and took it down to Florida.
So you rented it?
I rented it,
okay.
Yes. Yeah, I didn't buy it.
Okay.
The girls want to see what a Tesla was, and I'm going to tell you something. Here's the crazy part. It was $100 cheaper to rent it for the week than any other vehicle they had.
Really? So
even if I got a little two-door Chevy Aveo or something, it was $100 cheaper than anything that Hertz rental car had to rent. All you got to do is go look up.
Did they say why?
Hertz. I didn't ask. I didn't care.
Okay.
I have my own feelings why it is.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm going to share this with everybody.
So you rent it for 7 days.
So rent it for a week. Now I will tell you this: it was like sitting on your couch. It was very comfortable.
Okay.
0 to 60 and nothing. I mean, you wouldn't go, in our generation, we called it going Mustang hunting.
Yeah.
You could go Ferrari hunting with this.
Sure.
Thing. Okay. I mean, 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds.
Right.
And we got the small SUV even.
That's because an electric motor can do more rounds per minute, revolutions per minute.
That's correct.
Than an internal combustion engine.
That's correct. But here's the thing. After we took our trip and back, and I will say this, we stayed on the major highways going down to Florida and everything else. Never really worried about not being able to charge. If you tried to charge from 0 to 100, it takes an hour.
Okay.
If you tried to charge from 20% to 80%, it'd only take about 15 minutes.
Where did you charge it at?
Different places on the interstate. They have them all over the place.
So like a rest stop, you would pull over and charge the battery.
You'd have it at a rest stop. You have it at hotels. Oh man, you want to talk about conservative hell?
Okay.
I'm in a Tesla in Alabama, Montgomery, Alabama, and I need to charge it. I go and found the nearest charger.
Okay.
It was at, I kid you not, at a Target. Oh, it gets worse.
Did you go shopping?
No, it gets worse.
Okay, keep going.
My girls decided with their little bitty girl bladders, they had to go pee.
Okay.
Inside a Target.
Okay. I'm worried, folks. This is live radio. I'm worried. Go ahead.
Nothing happened, thank God.
Okay.
I stood outside the women's restroom.
I bet you did.
Oh, I did.
You could have went in.
I could have went in if I wanted to. You're right. They probably even had urinals. Hey, girls, did they have urinals in the Target women's restroom?
I'm sorry.
No, they didn't. Okay, so they didn't have urinals.
Well, okay.
But anyway, I'm sitting there, and I even told my girls.
I haven't heard the story.
I know. I'm walking up to the Target, and they're having to go to the bathroom. I'm looking at them. I'm going, this is conservative hell here.
Okay.
Do you know what you're doing to me?
It's rough.
I'm charging an electric car at a Target, and you got to go to the bathroom.
In the Target restrooms.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So
for people who don't understand, Target here 5 or 6 years ago decided that just how you felt that day is which restroom you could use. And it's been that way for the last 5 or 6 years. So if you identify as a woman that day, you're a man, I don't care if you're a big, hurly man.
With a bald spot right here and sunglasses. If you're on the radio, you need to go online and watch this on YouTube.
So, but anyway, getting back to the Tesla here and everything.
So are you going to buy one now?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
But I love the car. I mean, I'm going to tell you, the car was comfortable. I felt very safe in the car.
Okay.
Because it would even show me on the screen if another car was coming up behind me, so I didn't swerve over into the lane.
Okay.
The backup cameras. It not only had backup cameras, it had side cameras too, where I could actually see it, not just on the screen, but I could see the car even, with the cameras. So,
Was it a self-driving Tesla?
It was, but I didn't do that. Okay.
You didn't take a nap with the family?
No, I trust myself driving more than a machine. I'm just
Okay.
going to tell you. But it was good. But here's the thing. They say that they get 300 miles. Not true. 200 at the most.
200 at the most.
If you're driving on the highway.
Now, I'm not trying to make a joke, but is that with one person in the vehicle or 4 people in the vehicle, or is there a weight, where it sliding scale?
I think you are trying to make a joke of this. You're looking dead at me going, you weigh 275 pounds.
If you're listening on radio, I'm trying to not crack a smile. I'm trying to be so sick.
I know you know. Yeah, I know you
But
are.
I'm thinking, okay, so if you got a driver that's, a 180-pound driver versus 4 180-pound passengers is what I'm trying to say.
I don't think it makes a difference.
Okay.
I think really what it made the difference in was how fast you drove it.
So you're not going to buy one now? Mm-mm. Would you rent one again?
I would. But
Okay.
that's
strange.
Well, because it's $100 cheaper.
Oh, okay.
And it cost me $185 to drive from Florida and back.
What it cost to charge it?
That's what I just told you, $185.
Okay, $185.
And
okay,
for
gotcha.
charging fees.
Gotcha.
Okay, the charging fees going down and back was $185. If you do the math, it works out really about the same thing. If you have a Honda Accord or Toyota Camry or one of the small SUVs, it's about the same. It
I
really
looked
is.
at the kilowatts on the charging of those, and people and let me say this about the electric car, because I've worked around folks that really, and I'm not exaggerating on the word, they really worship the electric car.
Yeah, not me.
And they say, well, it's zero emissions, and I say, no, it's not.
No, it's not.
It's stored energy.
So
you already have the emissions done. You've already done the damage. It's just stored energy. It's not, though. I know it's rolling down the road. You're running off a battery. The energy was already created and stored, and you lose that stored energy.
So here's the thing.
You got a lot of waste in electric cars.
A lot of waste. And here's the thing. You can go look at it on the news today in Alabama. The same exact car I was driving, which was a Tesla Y, exploded on the interstate south of Montgomery. And it took them 36,000 gallons of water to put the fire out on that Tesla.
That lithium battery.
Where the average car only takes 500 gallons to put it out.
Sure.
So, I mean, there's so much misnomer. There's so much lies. Everybody wants to have and that's the reason I wanted to tell this story.
I'm glad you told it.
Because
the whole Target thing was just...
Oh, it's hilarious.
It makes me want to go find, the security camera and see you standing in front of the Target,
Shaking my head.
Yeah.
Shaking my head, walking like, oh, my gosh. So, but the car, I mean, I'm going to tell you something. Elon Musk knows how to make a car. I wish he would make a gas car.
Oh.
If he made a gas car, I would buy it, probably.
Tesla's making an Android. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
They are. They're coming out with an Android.
I want to buy...
phone. I'm talking about like a humanoid robot is what I'm talking about.
Oh, humanoid robot? Okay. I mean, I'm not against Tesla. I'm not against Elon Musk. I'm going to go what's best technology. And to me, it's got all these funny bells and whistles, but it's not the best technology.
No. Well, most automotive technology stays way behind. I'm a car guy. I love cars. And most automotive technology lags way behind from the rest of the world, even, if you will. I mean, any vehicle right now you buy new that has a key and an ignition, that thing is so far behind. It ought to be touch screen. It ought to be identifying your finger.
But see, and I don't want that. I want that ignition key.
Okay.
I actually got rid of a car because it had the push button.
Sure.
Because I kept thinking, when is that thing going to stop?
Well, we've got phones that recognize your face identity. You don't need a key at all, and we can voice activate our phones. You literally, all you'd have to do is build a car where your phone would plug into it, and your phone could have an app and operate the vehicle. But I'm just saying.
But here's the thing: that car is going to give the government the ability to take you out and not let you have that car anymore. When you put that kind of technology in your car, Brandon.
I understand.
And make no mistake, the way our country is going and the way our government is going, they're going to do that. They had a bill that was passed a couple of months ago, basically mandating by 2026 that the cars basically put a kill switch in every car.
Okay, so let's run it this way. During COVID 2020, if everyone had an electric car and the government had the ability to shut them down, what they would have done during COVID, they would have shut down the cars and they wouldn't allowed your cars to start.
That's
and they would have kept you at home.
And that's the reason.
And they would have absolutely done that. Don't tell me they'll shut down your church and not shut down your car.
That's correct.
Don't tell me they'll stop you from working and not shut down your car.
You know that they will tell you that the liquor store and Walmart was essential, but the church or your neighborhood local grocery store wasn't.
Well, as long as me and Philip Heatherly can keep that 2001 F-150 rolling, I don't have to worry about the government shutting
Hey,
it down.
listen, I don't have car payments. I have Philip Heatherly payments.
Listen, folks, we're so glad you joined us. We've been all over the map today. Fastest hour in radio. Next meeting, January 23rd at the courthouse. We say Merry Christmas. We want to wish you all a Happy New Year. We'll see you in 2024. Lawrence, take us out of here.
Everybody, I will tell you this. Hope you had fun. Hope you got some laughs. We want to bring you some laughs. We also want to bring you the information, but most importantly, we want you to think, and we want you to get involved.
This is WDXE,
God bless everyone,
W287 AA, and
God bless the United
W237
States.
FD Lawrenceburg. Broadcast services of Prosperity.